頑張る。私後悔しないように次郎のことめっちゃ頑張る。
二人ともうまくいきますように。
Oh boy, things are getting J-U-I. Oh boy, things are getting J-U-I-C-Y juicy. Also, did you guys notice that bad freaking ass ED at the end? That transition to the music straight into the actual like animated scenes of the ED. I was like, ooh, fire. So last week, so here's the thing. This is episode 11. We have one episode left to tie up this season, right? And with Married Couple here, this is definitely a anime that could very well get a season 2, but it could also be a season 1 only kind of thing. The good thing about this show is not necessarily here in the West. I don't really see it too much like on Twitter or Reddit, but 100% in Japan. This show is very popular, especially like Akari. Akari is a very, very popular character. I would say that she's in the top 5, along with the girl from My Dress Up Darling and stuff, right? I would say like she's in top 5, which is a really good thing. You know, when a character, male or female, right, when one of the boys or one of the girls gets a lot of notoriety in Japan with like their top characters of the week, the month, etc., that means the watch time or the audience is very large to take notice of said character. So this has a really golden opportunity for a season 2, depending if there's enough material to make a season 2. And, you know, the other thing, too, is if this did really well to explode light novel or manga sales in Japan, you know, by having this, then digitally or physically, then this could definitely be something like, oh, yeah, we need to do another season because this is, like, escalating our sales to XYZ, right? Okay, so let's go back to the juicy stuff. So last week I came on this platform here. I don't even know what I was trying to say there. I came on YouTube. I came on my channel, and I talked to you guys about, like, you know, I'm unsure of how they're going to be able to wrap this up. There's a lot of things, you know, there's no confession. There's a lot of, like, dancing around the should I, could I, would I stuff. This episode, wow. Let me start with the Akari stuff, and then I'll get over to the Jirou stuff, right? So Akari, you know, we have our test of courage, you know, like, I can't even imagine this really happens in Japan, but let's just say it does. So we had the standards test of courage, you know, go out there in the dark with a partner, whatever. And because of Jirou's finessing and his best friend, they're able to finesse Akari getting paired up with Minami, and then Jirou with Shiori, right? Now, with this whole thing, Akari goes and she loses her phone. She gets split up by Minami, you know, when they're trying to go out there because she lost her phone. She's like, I gotta find my phone. Minami ends up finding her. They end up sharing a really deep conversation under a gazebo while it's raining, and basically all the tea is spilled at this point, right? Minami comes out and basically just says, hey, I know you've always been looking my way. I never look back at you because I just don't see you in that way. The reality for Minami is something that I guessed a few episodes ago, right? When his brother was mentioned before, right? When he was working at his restaurant or whatever it is by green hair dude, the green hair dude's older brother was talking about Minami's brother and stuff, and instantly Minami kind of like shrugged and shrieked and just like didn't want anything to do with the conversation. So there's definitely bad blood between him and his brother, and I made the suggestion that I bet it's a girl. I bet that his brother's girlfriend or wife or whatever, I bet Minami's in love with that girl, and that's who's occupying the space in his heart. I effing called it, because this episode of Minami comes out and says, yeah, it's not you, it's not Shiori, there's not somebody else in the school, there's somebody you guys don't know that's occupying the space in my heart. We get a flashback of his brother getting it in, and we see that there's a girl there that Minami has a thing for, a much older girl, by the way, because his brother, you know, by his flashback, he must have been 10. His brother's probably somewhere in the ballpark of 18. So this girl must be somewhere in the ballpark of 26-ish, you know. I would say around somewhere in the ballpark of 6 to 10 years older than Minami. So definitely nothing's ever going to happen there, because 99% of the time, most women don't go for younger men until they get much, much older in life. And most of the time, you know, if you have something else that's already there along the lines of, I don't know, a brother, a husband, yeah, it's just not going to happen, bro. It only happens in anime and hentai. It's just not gonna happen. So this dude, unrequited love, he spills the beans, he spills the tea to her. And then Akari comes out. She says, I need to be strong. I'm going to go for it. She's like, well, what if we got partnered? Would you see me something, would you see me as something more than a little sister type, to you? And Minami's just like, no, at this time, there's just no room. And I love that. Minami really is a solid, genuine dude. I like him a lot as a character. I figured I would. I wouldn't hate him internally, but at the end of the day, the anime has spent so little time on him that we knew he was going to be insignificant, but he ends up being a really stand-up dude. Akari then is able to go and thank him for letting her love him, essentially, right? Letting her have this like unrequited love, this one-sided love, this crush and stuff, which I thought was a really genuine thing. And Minami called her out too for, because, the first person that Akari called out for when she was in trouble was Jirou, not anybody else. So he kind of poked fun at her too. But that kind of made Akari really wake up to her senses, because every time that she was with Minami or in any other situation with a male person, she's always in the back of her head thinking about Jirou. Oh, Jirou does this. Jirou feels like that. Jirou. So we all knew it, but she finally said it with her words. She was like, okay, I need to go and pursue Jirou. Well, okay, now here's the fun stuff, because as this is happening, Shiori got some balls on her, because now she's seen a few different instances this episode and last episode, right? She kind of put two and two together that she noticed Akari and Jirou missing at the same time. She noticed that Jirou, when it was like made notice that she lost her phone, Jirou began to go like, oh, is she okay? Kind of like anxiousness, panic mode. Shiori went to go grab Jirou, and he kind of pulled away because Akari was top of his mind. All these things are definitely bothering her. She's had a conversation with Akari. She's kind of put two and two together there as well. Now she sees, Jirou there. Jirou's kind of like not answering the phone, nothing, because he's just full honed in on go find my baby girl Akari kind of thing. Shiori then kind of calls him out for that. And he, his mannerisms change, his inflections change, his demeanor changes when Shiori mentions that, oh, Minami found Akari, she's okay. And even Shiori's like, I've never seen you make that face before. Now, she said all this internally, right? So she kind of shoots her shot here in a moment. And in her own very Shiori way, she goes and pulls she doesn't hold any punches. She goes for it. She goes for the kiss. She says, hey, you're my only kiss. You're my first kiss. I know I'm not your first kiss. You mean the world to me. I love you. I like you. She didn't say I love you, but she said, I like you. I like this, like that. And she goes in for the kiss. She pulls in Jirou in those moments. And I was like, God damn, Shiori. So at this point, next episode, one of two things is going to happen. Either he's going to kind of give in, or he's going to pull away, in that moment. I'm hoping he does the pull away, because everything that's led up to this, in his mind, Akari's number one. Period. The end. Again, he wants to verbalize that Shiori, but really his heart is leaning towards Akari, because everything that happens, right? Even when he was like, oh, me and Akari really don't like each other, he was like, very sad, right? So it got juicy, I'm telling you guys. So it's gonna be very interesting to see what happens. I hope that Akari doesn't come upon Shiori and Jirou. I hope that he's able to pull away and kind of repath himself, because he really but he really needs to kind of like figure that out. But wow, a lot of stuff that's happened this episode, and I think we're gonna get a very satisfied ending next episode. Even if this does have hope for a season 2, I think that we're going to be able to wrap this up next episode. And that makes me excited, because this anime is absolutely incredible. It's been such a ride this season, so I cannot wait to kind of see this wrapped up. Sad, but I'm very excited that and hopeful now that we're actually getting a satisfying ending and not some bullshit BS ending. So let me know what you guys thought about this juicy-ass episode down in the comments below. I appreciate you guys being here for another week. And man, Shiori, her horns came out this episode. She went, I'm going for it. So see you guys next week. Peace.